Hello, my name is Shedrack. In this video, I'll be explaining the meaning of support and resistance line. I'll also show you how to spot support and resistance line on your charts. So let's get started. First of all, let's look at the meaning and definition of support and resistance. So, support and resistance represent key junctions where the forces of supply and demand meet. In the financial market, prices are driven by excessive supply and demand. Supply is synonymous with bearish, while demand is synonymous with bullish. When we say bearish, we mean down, sell, short. And when we say bullish, we mean long, up, high. As demand increases, price advance and supply increases, price decline. When supply and demand are equal, price moves sideways. That is when you see that there will be a consolidation. There won't be a definite trend. Price won't go up nor down, but it will move sideways. The logic dictates that as the price declines towards support and gets cheaper, buyers become more inclined to buy and sellers become less inclined to sell. And by the time price reaches the support level, it is believed that demand will overcome supply and prevent price from falling below support. Support does not always hold, you should note that. And a break below support signals the bears have won over the bulls. And once support is broken, another support level we have to be established at a lower level. So let me show you what that looks like on a chart. So this is a typical example of a support line. This is the market, this is the price. It has been going. Now it came down, it hit this area, then went back up, then it went up, down for a while, then came back down again, got to the same area, then went back up, then went up again, and now tested it again, it went up, came down again, went up. So that should tell you that there is something here pushing the market back. This is a typical example of a support line. It is not really one line, it's like an area. It could be from this first yellow line to this second yellow line. It's just an area. And once you can see that the price is bouncing back whenever it gets there, it means it's a very strong support line, which is a good place for you to enter trades. Imagine placing a buy trade here, you will have made a lot of money. It came down again, you enter another buy trade, see profits. The third time again, it came down, it went back up. So a support line is a good spot for you to be placing your trades. Now let me show you what resistance line looks like. The logic dictates that as price advances towards resistance, sellers become more inclined to sell and buyers become less inclined to buy. And by the time price reaches the resistance level, it is believed that supply will overcome demand and prevent price from rising above resistance, which is just the opposite of support line. So as you can see, this is 0 USD. And how do I spot out the resistance line? Once you see that the market keeps going back at a particular point, you should know that there's something pushing it back. So you select your line tool, then you place it and make sure it touches at least 2 points. So we have 1, 2, 3 here. So I move it close to the close of this point, and I also put another one here. So this is how to spot out resistance line. We can see that the market found it difficult to break through here, second time again, and third time testing. The line is always invisible. Let me delete it so that you can see how we got there. So once you see that whenever price gets to a particular area, it comes down. Whenever I find it difficult to break through a particular area, then that should tell you that there's a support line or a resistance line there. So as you can see that the market has tested this section like 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and it could not break over this section. then you just select your line, then you place it there. Yes, so you make sure it touches at least 2 points. So resistance line is not just one line, it's an area. So I prefer to use 2 lines. So as you can see, the market came up, it tested it, it couldn't break, it came down, then came up again, tested it, couldn't break, came down, then on 2 other occasions, then it went down. So once you see that the market is finding it difficult to break through a particular area, it simply means there's a support line there or a resistance line. And one thing you should notice this: once the market breaks through a resistance line, then it becomes a support line. Or whenever the market breaks through a support line, then it becomes a resistance line. Take for instance, this is a resistance line here, but going back few hours, you can see that it has been a support line. When the market came down, it bounced back. It came down again and it broke through, but this is a false breakout. Then what happened next? The market came back inside. Now it found it difficult to break through, and eventually it broke through. So that's why I said support line can be broken, while resistance line can also be broken, and a new support line will be created. So now it broke through the support line, and immediately it came back, the support line became a resistance line. So this should tell you that this particular point is a very strong place where we have demand and supply battling it out. So this is how to spot it. So let me go back to GBP USD that we were watching earlier. Let me make my screen smaller so you can see it better. So how did I spot this? Just like I explained, once you see market bouncing back at a particular point, then there's something pushing it back. And this is the first time, the second time, the third time. So once you spot that trend, just pick up your line and place it there. Make sure it touches at least 2 to 3 points. So now I'm considering this closing price, and this week. So this area is where we have the support line. So as you can see from the explanation, spotting out support and resistance is very easy. Just look out for a particular point where we have clusters of buyers and sellers where the market is finding it difficult to break through, and place your lines. Make sure it touches at least 2 points. Once it's touching 2 points and you've seen that yes, even going back in time, it has been finding it difficult to break through that point, then that's your support or your resistance line. And you can use it to place trades. It can be your entry point and also your stop loss area. And this is the end of this lecture. See you in the next class.